So there is an island that everyone wants to visit, but no one ever returns because there is something there that kills everyone. But this time, something different happened. When 5 friends went there to celebrate their vacation, what usually happens did not happen to them. Instead, things occurred that had never happened before. A girl is seen running in fear. Not just from that moment, but it seems she has been running in fear for many days. But she doesn't get far because she is caught. In fact, it is the police who catch her, holding her as a suspect in a crime. What crime is that? You'll find out soon. The police take her back to the city, where she is questioned. But the girl sits completely silent. It feels as if she has witnessed such horrifying events that if she spoke about them, no one would believe her. Seeing her condition, a female officer tells her colleagues that they should give her some time. Maybe slowly, she will tell them everything. For now, they should leave her alone. They agree and send her home. 1 day passes, then 2, then 3. Finally, the girl calls the police to her house. She begins telling them everything they wanted to hear. She introduces herself as Jenna and starts narrating what happened. She explains how she and her friends had just finished college and decided to spend their last moments together on an island. The place had a cottage owned by Taylor's father, which was empty. That's why Taylor suggested they go there, and everyone agreed. After a long 4-hour boat ride, they reached the shore of the island. The 2 girls were the first to get down and move ahead. Suddenly, they noticed a silver toy outside the cottage, moving in a strange way. They assumed it was one of Taylor's pranks, but Taylor clearly denied it. He said he hadn't done anything. What was even stranger was that when Taylor picked up the toy to examine it, the word revenge was written on it. Revenge for what and who was going to take revenge on them? That is the real plot of this story, which slowly unfolds. Back to the story, another thing comes to light. Jenna and Mark had broken up a few days earlier, but Mark didn't want to accept it. That's why he came on this trip, hoping to revive their relationship. But Jenna didn't want to move forward. She didn't want to share any new chapter of her life with Mark. Kylie even tried to explain to Mark that he should move on, because if Jenna didn't want this relationship, forcing it would only waste both their time. But Mark refused to listen. He insisted that he would win her back because he believed she still loved him. The story returns to the present. We learn that Jenna was the only one among the 5 who returned alive from the island. Yes, this is why the police were interrogating her. They wanted to know where her friends had gone. Were they all dead? If yes, who killed them? And was Jenna herself involved? So many questions, but no answers. Don't worry, everything will slowly become clear. Jenna tells them that there wasn't just their group on the boat. There was another girl named Megan, whom they met on the way. Megan claimed she already knew them, which is why she secretly boarded their boat. Everyone found her strange, and she was very young. But in such an isolated place, they couldn't just abandon her, so they let her join them. Taylor started getting close to Megan because she was quite attractive. That night, everyone drank heavily, including Megan. Taking advantage of the situation, Taylor took her to the bedroom. There, Megan revealed that this was her first time, and that she was only 15 years old. Taylor was shocked. He immediately backed off, apologized, and left. He didn't tell anyone about this, not wanting to ruin the mood. The night continued and everyone enjoyed themselves. Because of all the partying, they woke up late the next morning. But Ashley was missing. Someone mentioned that her puppy had gone missing since morning, so she had gone out to look for it. Inside the house, everyone was busy having breakfast when suddenly they heard Ashley scream. They all ran toward the forest and found Ashley standing on a bridge, extremely terrified. She kept pointing in one direction, as if she had seen something horrifying. The others decided to go that way. Taylor was walking in front, but after some distance he stopped because they found nothing. Suddenly, something dripped onto his face. When he touched it, it was blood. The blood was dripping from a hanging corpse. It was Nate. Everyone was horrified, but it became even worse when they saw the word evil written on his body. Was someone trying to send them a message? Panic spread among them. There was no phone signal and they didn't know what to do. Mark and Colin decided to go to the boat and leave the island to inform the police. Meanwhile, Taylor went to search the surrounding area, thinking the killer might still be hiding nearby. But doesn't it feel like this isn't the work of a human? Could it be something else, some entity, a cursed spirit? The three girls returned to the cottage and locked themselves inside because it was too dangerous outside. But Ashley was still worried about her puppy. Her friends tried to stop her, telling her it wasn't safe, and that they would all search together once the boys returned. But Ashley didn't listen. Jenna decided to go with Megan to help her find the puppy, asking the other girl to stay behind. This was strange. She had just been stopping her, and now she was going with her. After hearing all this, an officer angrily asked Jenna why they didn't leave the island together after such a tragic incident. Jenna replied that when the two boys reached the boat to go to the police, the boat was gone. This meant the killer had already escaped and didn't want them to leave the island either. The two returned to figure out another solution. On the way, Colin revealed that Nate was actually his and Taylor's half-brother. Their father had an affair with another woman, and after her death, Nate came to them for help. Their father couldn't refuse and kept him there. Since then, Nate had been taking care of the cottage on the island. When they returned to the spot, Nate's body was gone. This meant the killer was still on the island, and now it might be someone else's turn. They ran toward the cottage, worried about the girls. Meanwhile, Ashley was alone because her companions had gone to look for the puppy. Suddenly, she heard her puppy's voice. She rushed outside and found its collar near a bathtub, assuming it had fallen accidentally. She went inside to search for it, but someone unknown came from behind and locked the bathtub. By the time Ashley realized what was happening, it was too late. The person had increased the water temperature, causing it to boil like lava. When the others returned to the cottage, Ashley was nowhere to be found. Later, they noticed smoke coming from the bathtub. Written on it was the word guilty, another message. They opened it immediately and found Ashley dead inside, trapped in the boiling water for too long. Everyone was stunned. This was the second horrifying incident in just a few hours. Again, the same questions echoed in their minds. Who is doing this and why? Fear took over and they began suspecting each other. Megan, but Taylor calms everyone down. He tells them the island is very small, so they must stay together. Otherwise, more incidents could happen. Right now, they need to think about only one thing: how to get out safely. His friends understand and they head back to the cottage. Once again, the silver toy starts moving near the cottage gate, as if someone had turned its key and placed it there again. This time there is no message behind it. Instead, A new message appears on the gate itself. Innocent. Seeing this, Taylor is shocked and throws the toy away. Meanwhile, in the present, Jenna is showing everything to the officer. The toy is with her, proving its importance in the story. What secret does it hold? We'll find out. The tension rises. Everyone is now terrified, afraid that one by one they might be killed. Suddenly, they hear a girl sobbing. Callie rushes to her, thinking she's in trouble. But he steps into a trap, likely meant for catching an animal. Hearing his screams, the friends free him and bring him back to the cottage, where they tend to his wounds. For safety, they lock all windows and doors. They send Kylie to rest in a bedroom, while the others stay alert in the hall. Jenna and Mark start talking quietly, seeking comfort from each other amid the chaos. Suddenly, the lights go out. Megan rushes inside and discovers that Kylie is missing. Clear that she's next. Then, a tree outside suddenly bursts into flames, and arrows start flying toward them. The windows are closed, so no one is hurt, except one arrow, which strikes Taylor in the back because it came from another path. Then, everything suddenly becomes silent. Morning comes and they step outside. Kylie is gone, but Taylor survives. Before them lies a puzzle. A walkie-talkie from which Kylie's voice is heard in pain, but no one responds. Jenna notices the sound of water. It might be in the duck pond. They rush there, but find nothing. She realizes they need to solve the puzzle repeatedly presented to them. Jenna starts writing down all the clues they have seen, eventually forming a name, Ricky Ma. Taylor immediately reacts, recognizing the name. It has a terrifying connection from his past. Reluctantly, he reveals that Ricky Ma was a colleague who came to town a few days ago. Taylor and Kylie had hosted a party at their house, during which she drank excessively. Despite refusing, she persisted, and Taylor and Kylie. The next morning, Ricky Ma realized what happened and wanted to go to the police. But Callie had secretly photographed her that night, and she used this to blackmail him. When he tried to stop her, she slipped on a knife and died instantly. To avoid blame, the brothers buried her on the island so no one would find out. Now something or someone knows the truth, and that's why these events are happening. Could it be a spiritual entity? Maybe Ricky Ma's restless soul is taking revenge. Megan decides she shouldn't stay with the others and locks herself in the cottage. The remaining friends decide to go to Ricky Ma's grave, but when they arrive, they find Kylie's body buried there instead. At that moment, a message from Megan comes through the walkie-talkie. She has seen Nate in the house. But Nate was dead. They rush inside, with Taylor entering first, knife in hand, thinking it might be the killer. A venomous snake bites him, and he screams in pain. By the time his friends arrive, he has already taken his last breath. Only a few are left in the house. They hear movement above. Going upstairs, they are shocked to see Nate alive. Why did he pretend to be dead? Perhaps his goal was something else. Mark reassures them they aren't at fault. The brothers are. Nate reveals a hidden truth. Jenna was involved that night. She witnessed everything but didn't stop Ricky Ma's death. Seeing the brothers bury Ricky Ma ignited her desire for revenge. Later, she met Ricky Ma's sister, who helped her. Before she could reveal her identity, Mark attacks and both fall down. Mark dies, but Nate survives. The officer asks about Megan, whose body they had found earlier. Nate explains that Megan is actually Ricky Ma's sister. She had planned everything with Nate, but saved Jenna when she tried to escape. Once they find the boat, they leave the island, relieved to have survived. But Megan isn't done. She attacks Jenna with a knife and Jenna kills her in self-defense. Thus, Jenna survives alone, on the island among her friends. The police think the case is solved, but the doctor is suspicious because Jenna's confession contains inconsistencies. Jenna's parents arrive to pick her up. Seeing Megan's photo on the board, they initially think it's their daughter, but then realize it's Megan, Ricky Ma's sister. The true mastermind of the story is revealed. Jenna is actually Megan. She lied to the police to save herself and staged a fake act, which partially succeeded. But in the end, everything spiraled out of control. Megan, seeking revenge for her sister, orchestrated the killings with Nate and erased all evidence. She escapes the island after deceiving everyone, and that's how the story ends.